Welcome to Lead Poison.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Lead Poison podcast, brought to you by youcanpaint.com.au. Please head to youcanpaint.com.au for issue 1 of their how-to series, How to Paint Your House and Save Thousands. My name is Jack, your host, and this evening on the show we are joined by the one and only Tuloco out of Sydney, Australia. If you know anything of the Sydney hip-hop and graffiti culture, then you will know tonight's guest. But for those that don't, Tuloco is a respected MC and graffiti artist who has consistently contributed to our community with both his unique and well-developed graffiti, as well as his authentic and iconic music. The hip-hop culture in Australia has evolved to a point that I'm not sure many people envisioned 2 decades ago. There is a laundry list of pioneers, second and third generation MCs and writers who have laid the foundation for the younger generations who are now making waves across the globe. Tuloco is not only one of those guys, but someone who isn't writing off his past contributions to cement his legacy. He is a graffiti writer and MC who is still contributing with a passion and enthusiasm that is certainly contagious. His album Veinz Of Paint, featuring the likes of Cannabis, Young Buck, and Tragedy Gaddafi, is due for release early next year, and all of his previous releases can be found through the link in tonight's show notes. It was an honour to chat with Tuloco, and I hope you enjoy the discussion. I get the feeling you're not actually from Western Sydney, but you've spent a lot of time there. But I also know your heritage is, Spanish. Were you born in Australia? Where'd you grow up?
Well, I grew up mostly, since my early days, man, in Mascot, pretty much, and in the eastern suburbs up until the age of 15. So that's pretty much how I really got involved in graffiti, because I was just city ways all the time, and yeah. And I guess from the age like up to 15, we moved out west. So yeah, we moved out to Mount Druitt, and I guess just had to pretty much start all over again, meeting new friends, this, that. But I'd be jigging school, man. I'd be out catching the trains, and I'd be everywhere, man. So like,
is that where you first sort of got into graffiti?
Well, I started getting heavily more involved in graffiti since like the Mount Druitt days, but since Mascot days, I was always tagging. I was always like taking photos of pieces and just copying pieces, like doing outlines, just getting involved into it, man, and just bombing. It was all about bombing in the eastern suburbs. So yeah, it was all about bombing. So once I moved out west, yeah, it was still bombing, but just not as much, man. It was more about pieces and just being original and just being a burner, man.
What years are we talking though? Early 2000s?
Nah, man. We're talking like 95, man. 96, man.
True. You moved out to Mount Druitt around 96.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, fuck. So tell me about Mount Druitt. My time that I've spent in Sydney has been mainly in the inner west, Balmain, Rozelle, sort of Chill areas.
I love those ways. I love it.
Yeah, beautiful spot, man. But 96, I was living in Perth, so it's a little bit before my time. But what was Mount Druitt like in 96, man? Was it much different to what it is now?
Yeah. Around that era, there was a lot of race wars. So, we had skinheads, we had Aboriginals fighting like Islanders fighting Islanders, and Filipinos were fighting everyone. It was just a lot of race wars. But there was a lot of crime, man. There was a lot of crime happening, and that's what happened. Like I kind of like started hanging around like people like that. We got into a lot of shit, and I'm seeing all the older boys up city ways, all the RBS boys, they're out searching and shit like that. So, yeah, man, from Mount Druitt days, we were doing our shit. We were fucking getting hotties. We were doing all our shit, man, jumping counters. So, Yeah, man, fucking whole different era then, man. I mean, it's hard now and shit, man. Still, but it was just different then, man. It was just different. A lot of race wars. I remember a lot of race wars, man.
Yeah,
So hey.
interesting. It is a pretty multicultural area, isn't it, out there? Like there's a bunch of different nationalities and a lot of people too, eh?
Yeah. It's growing big now, man.
Yeah. So do you remember the first time that you sort of went out and besides bombing, went out and actually started painting, doing pieces and sketching? Was that sort of a slow burn, or did someone take you out and say, look, this is how it's done, or how did that sort of come about?
The thing is, the older boys, a lot of the older boys out west, like they would just want to be hard. Can't say that. Like now they try to suck my dick, but back then, man, fucking, they were just being like somewhat bullies and shit. Like they were just dickheads. Like it's like now with me with the younger generation, I'd show respect. I won't be a dickhead to them because one day those young kids, they're gonna be big cunts too. They're gonna be older, and what are they gonna think? Oh, Tuloco was a dickhead when I was a young cunt. That's how I think. So now I think of those older boys. Nah, you're a fucking dickhead. Go eat shit, dickhead. So I had to learn everything myself pretty much, man. So like pretty much out west, I would go rack my paint. Then the only legal we had was street level, and street level was a wall. Right now, Blacktown Centrelink sits there, and Deathwish Cast did a music clip there. So like it was a spot you could just do a piece, but yeah, it was also a spot where there'd also be beef, where writers would meet up. Oh, fuck you, this, that, blah, blah. But that's pretty much where I started. But there was always the lines, man. Like I only lived like 10-minute walks from the lines. So like there was a lot of wars on the lines, like in Mount Druitt, Rudy Hill, Doonside. There was always wars there. So at night I'll be painting the lines, and in the daytime I'll be doing street level.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yep.
Those early days are always exciting when you're a graph writer and you're just getting into it. It's especially back then. I can imagine it was pretty. I guess nowadays it's cutthroat as well, but I wasn't around back then, but I can imagine it was pretty cutthroat in the graffiti scene, especially out there.
Big time, man. Big time. I mean, if you were a biter, you'd cop a lot of flack, or a lot of cunts were getting rolled and shit. So yeah, every day I'd be carrying a knife, So it was like that. I guess shit hasn't changed now, just different era. But yeah, there was a lot of violence back there, man.
Do you think much has changed? I mean, what's your opinion on like graffiti, maybe in those areas or in Sydney on a whole at the moment? Do you think those aspects of the scene are gone, or is it if they are gone, is it a good thing, or what's your opinion at the moment?
It's gone. It's gone. Back then, if you ran around with an ego, your big head would get flattened real quick. Now, cunts are running around with a big ego. Yeah, they've done a couple panels, they've done a couple wars, they think they're fucking king shit, and no one's giving them a slap in the head. In a way, good because they don't come home with a black eye, but then also bad because, these cunts walking around like they're mad. But you get that in every scene, man, maybe hip hop, punk scene, graph, whatever, man. There's always going to be dickheads with big egos. Even sports players, they run around with big egos, you know what I mean? So,
yeah. I guess it's human nature in a way, isn't it, a little bit?
That's it, I hate humans.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck, sometimes I do too.
Yeah, sure, man.
Yeah. So, back then, did you think that you'd still be painting all these years later? When you were first getting into it, was it something that you saw yourself doing for a good chunk of your life, or were you just...
Man, I was just so intrigued about it. I just loved it ever since like the age of 6, because my dad was a bus driver, so for the government. So we would get free trips on buses, ferries, and trains. And my dad, on his days off, he'd love to catch the train. He was just obsessed with trains as well, but not graffiti. He just loved to travel. We'd go to Newcastle, as far as Katoomba, everywhere, you name it, Cronulla. And we'd be in the Red Rattlers, and I would always point, oh, look, because I'd see mad pieces. And he goes, nah, they're bastards, son of a bitches, But I was intrigued, and I turned out to be one of those bastard son of a bitches, My dad just laughs now. He goes, oh, you're still doing graffiti. I see your roller here, there, what are you doing? And I go, fucking, yeah, whatever, man, I love it, But I never thought I'd be doing it. I don't know, it's just, I don't know, I just got a love for it, man. Fucking my veins of paint, bro.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, once it gets into you, there's no sort of looking back.
Yeah, that's it, man.
especially I guess with with a kid on the scene, it's hard to find time. Do you still? I mean, are you much of a drawer at home, or are you more sort of the type of guy that
Yes,
goes out and does your work?
man, man, I love drawing too. I do oil paintings, acrylics. I did an all city styles not long ago, a couple of weeks ago, for one of the producers on my album. Like an all city styles, Tuloco. I did a painting like a red hen, like New York train and shit. So like, I'm always drawing. I'm always trying to. I just love it, man. It's just, just sometimes I just need to be alone and just in my own world. If I'm not in my own gym hitting the weights, I want to be in my room just doing music or painting or drawing, something like that, man.
Yeah, for sure. Are the oil paintings and the acrylics are they graffiti related, or you do other stuff as well?
Pretty much on the graffiti related side, man. Like I'd like to do like I like to do realistic, but it does take a lot of time out of you because I'm also a truck driver, man. And some days I'm working 12, 14 hours a day, I come home and I go do the family thing, I want to keep fit, so I got my own weight set in the garage. So yeah, man, so many things going on, just not enough hours in the day, eh?
Yeah, for sure, man. There's not much time to get into oil and
Nah,
acrylic
nah.
realism painting.
Yeah, and like, just working takes up a lot of time, and you got to make money somehow. I can't sit down and be a bum at home, It's just, I got to make money, bro.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah,
Especially, as I said before, once you got kids on the scene, it kind of changes everything, eh?
that's it, man. Kids, mortgages, yeah, you're just building up your assets, you know how it is.
Yeah, 100%, man. So you're a member of the KOS crew.
Yes, I am. Yes, yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about KOS and where that crew started in Sydney, or what the origins are of that crew?
It started in the 80s. So
True, I didn't know
I've
that.
only met one of the older boys, but then we've got Esco, who's like the main man. His cousin was one of the big boys in the original KOS. So yeah, we're all pretty tight, So like we've known each other for ages. So yeah, we've got a few like burners in the crew, and we got all rounders, So like all rounders, and yeah, man, like it's a tight crew, Not anyone can be, and it's not one of those crews where we're just chucking people in just for the numbers and for the name, I think we try to keep it family, eh?
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, yeah, one of the most respected crews in Sydney, for sure. I mean, there's a guy that writes Secret who you probably know, but
Yeah, yeah, man. Ooh,
speaking of art in general, like his stuff is incredible. I love looking at his art.
man, he's on another planet, eh?
Yeah, he's on another planet.
Mate, him, Bones, Puddle, mate, they're on another planet.
Yeah, and sort of the type of stuff that Sydney is known for, really. When you talk about Sydney in regards to the other states, KOS is definitely in the conversation.
Sick, sick.
Did your sort of father's interest in travel? It sounded like it had an effect on you because you've done quite a bit of travel, haven't you?
Yes, I have. But even from school, like my favorite my main subject, like I was really good at, was geography. Geography and PE. So I've always kept fit, and geography is just, mate, fucking back then you can tell me any country and I'll tell you the capital city, but my dad did a lot of traveling as well. So he told me a lot of stories and places he's been and things he's done, So like I guess it just came natural to me, man.
Yeah, it rubs off, I guess. Anything your parents are interested in, I find, especially in your later, maybe not in your teens, you kind of go the opposite way, but it comes full circle sometimes. Things that your parents are into. But so, I mean, I read yesterday that you've traveled to over 40 countries. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
And have they all been with the intention of applying your art, so to speak, or were
Pretty
they?
much, man. Pretty much. Like I always do the tourist shit. No matter what, I always do the tourist shit. Like I might suss a spot out, and I'll suss it out, But I'll always do the tourist shit. I'll always make sure I always drink the local beers. I love beers.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I saw a video of you eating a fucking tarantula or something.
yeah,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
China and Beijing, man. Fucking I was having a ball in Beijing. I was eating everything, man. Everything fucked up. I ate it, eh?
Yeah, true. How did the spider taste?
It was just crunchy. I was cringing because I was like, yeah, because fuck, who goes out of their way to eat a spider? I've never eaten a spider before. I was cringing, but was deep fried, so I thought, nothing bad can really happen, man. And I'm still alive, man. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe you got some extra powers, maybe.
Fuck, I hope so, man.
So what's yeah, speaking of China, what's the graffiti like there? Is there a graffiti scene over there?
um, in Beijing there is, because there was an art district. That's where we had to get our paint. They had the one take paint, so I used that one take. Yeah, I used the one take before it even came out to Australia, and it's kind of like the MTN hardcores.
Okay.
And
Oh, that's good shit.
yeah. So they had their art district. But yeah, it's a very communist country, and they're really like strict people. So it's not like you're going to see a million tags. It's not going to be like, how West Sydney, for example, or so it's. But yeah, man, it was a good experience, eh?
Yeah, for sure, man. And what about 40 countries. I guess I could pick one, and you've probably been there, but you've been to New York?
Man, I've been there twice.
Did you paint there too?
Yes, I have.
How was that? That must have been sort of a bucket
The
list
first
trip.
time, yeah, oh man, it was a dream. It was a dream. The first time I went to New York, I painted 5 points, like it's a famous like wall before they
For
knocked it
sure.
all down, all that bullshit.
in,
And then,
in Queens.
Correct.
Yeah, they got rid of that now, didn't they?
Yes, they did. There was a big lawsuit. Matey there got a couple millions out of it, like would have been good if I got a couple million out of it too. I had a piece on it, but but yeah, not stressed. But finally getting a subway there was also pretty cool, man. And they all ran as well. So I'm over the moon, to this day,
Yeah, man, that's crazy. That's that's something that most riders would dream of, getting a
Bro,
runner
that's the
in
dream, bro.
New
That's the
York.
dream, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have to worry about the third rail and things like that? How dangerous was it?
Yeah. You have to worry about the third rail. Apparently, I tapped it in London, so my mate said. I don't know, man. I've even heard stories of people like chucking a piss on it and electrifying them and throwing them back. I don't know how true that is, but the third rail goes like in a circuit. So, maybe every 3 to 5 seconds there'll be a current. So you can maybe touch it for 1 or 2 seconds, but of course you got to be careful. But some places in Europe it's capped, so you might see people standing on it. I don't even want to stand on it. I just go over it. But it's easy to point out because you'll see the 2 rails where the train will be, and then you'll see an extended third rail, which is probably a little bit elevated, and okay, that's where all the current flows. So just don't touch it, man. Like it's worse in Paris. You've got everything happening in Paris. Like fuck, I'm not touching nothing, man. Like you just go over everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Is Paris notoriously hard to paint, or?
Man, fuck Paris, eh? Fucking, I spent fucking a week in jail there, man. Fucking, I
That's
got
it.
the subways. Yeah, I got the metros. Got a couple metros, and then we were just fucking bored off our nut, and we went to paint a commuter. In some yard it was just dead. Next thing you know, we got swarmed by like 10 security guards. They were all like 7 foot. Right, like, so there's no way I'm gonna fight these cunts. They're gonna fucking flatten me, I was like, oh, yeah, whatever, man, fucking fuck you. And yeah, the cops came. The funny thing is, the cops there were all like my height, like our height, like 5'7", 5'6", 5'8", But the security guys are all like 7 foot, man. Like,
True.
So yeah, funny that. But yeah, I spent a week in Paris jail.
Fuck, how was that?
It was boring, because no one could speak Spanish or English. So so they put me in the section with all the Africans and all the Arabs, and they put my other Aussie mate with all the white guys. He was bored of his nut because no one could speak. Like they couldn't put us together, which sucks. I had no pen, I had no paper. I was just sitting there bored off my nut. And
Wow.
yeah, man, fuck Paris. Like they wanted us to pay 2,000 euros to get out. I had that money, but 2,000 euros is like $3,500. Like, man, I got that money, but fuck, man, I'd rather do the time, man, because once we got out, we went straight to Ram and we fucking partied with that money, What I mean? Fucking, man.
Probably worth sitting in a boring cell for 7 days.
Yeah, it's just my missus was fucking, she was worried, She was about to call the consulate and everything, and the minute I called her, she was in tears, but yeah, man, happy days, eh?
How did they treat you, like the other people in the jail there in Paris?
Man, fucking a random person will come up to me and start talking. Obviously, I don't speak one word of French, and I would speak back in Spanish. No. I speak back in English. No. That's it. They just left me because I'm just a boring cunt. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to get any stories out of me. I'm not going to understand them. So No, all sweet, man, all sweet. I mean, if shit went down, fucking, I'm gonna bring it on. But because I think one of the best fighters in the world are people from Australia. Like, yes. But anyway,
Definitely came for a scrap, man. 100%.
yeah.
Is that the only place that you sort of got pinched painting abroad?
Well, I got shot at in Milan in the Red Line in Italy, because I was painting the subway there, the metro, and cops came out of nowhere. So they fired some shots. I fucking ran. I ran probably maybe 5Ks. Fucking went past 2 fucking stations, and then I finally found a manhole, got out of there, and I threw all my memory cards. So I had nothing on me. I had no spray paint. I had no memory cards. I just had my camera because it's a $500 camera, but no memory card, nothing. And they finally grabbed me in the street. They took me to the cop shop and let me go after an hour or two. Yeah, about an hour, because they had nothing on me, man. They started speaking to me in Italian. I just looked at them like a brain dead spastic guy. Like, fuck yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're on about, So
Yeah, fucking hell, man, that's wild.
And that was solo too. It's just I fucked it. I jumped off the station at the end of the platform and I triggered a sensor. It's a full rookie shit, I didn't know where the fuck the sensor was, but it's all trial and error, man. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man. No, kudos, man. You're putting in a lot of effort, bro. You said you were solo there, but have you got sort of friends in all these countries or across the globe?
Yes, I got contacts. I've also done a few countries, like a lot of like the Mad Asian systems. I've done it with my mate Hoons and also Boom from Sydney.
Yeah.
We've done like of course China, Japan, places like that. So yeah, I've done also like other mates, like I don't think they want to be named, but we've done like Indonesia, like Jakarta. We painted the metro there. That was pretty crazy. Like security with like Uzis on motorbikes and shit.
Fucking hell.
So yeah, no, even Europe. Like I got contacts there. Like even my mate from out west, Recco, he's come with me to every continent as well. Like we've done USA, Europe, fuck yeah, what do you call it? He even came with me to India. Like his first country he went to, like overseas, was India. Out of all the places in the world, the worst country in the world, he came with me to India. So like, and since then, man, he's come with me everywhere, like South Africa and shit as well, man. Like fuck, shit, Cape Town, man. Fucking when I think about Cape Town now, it's like fuck me. Then I'm lucky to be alive, eh?
That's they say that's one of the most dangerous countries or dangerous areas in the world, don't they?
Yeah, bro. Like I had a rental car. Like I'm not getting around fucking by public transport. I'd get jacked, raped, and killed. You know what I mean? Like
sure.
they're crazy cunts there, man.
Yeah. So did that sort of how does Sydney stack up sort of, I guess, in terms of graffiti across the globe to the other countries? Do you get home from these trips and think like, oh fuck, and sort of breathe a sigh of relief and it's kind of more chill here, or is it?
It's way more chill here, man. Way more chill. The lifestyle's chill. The lifestyle's good here, man. It's good, it's good here. It's good here. It's good to be back home. It's also good to be, in Europe, but this is where my family lives. This is my home now, man. Australia's my home.
Yeah, for sure. Are you going to continue travel sort of, I guess, once COVID sort of dealt with or whatever? Are you going to take your little one across the globe?
I'd love to, I've still got unfinished business in some countries, but yeah.
You're trying to get to everyone, aren't you?
Just the thing is, I'm on fucking bail at the moment, Fucking the last 3 years I'm on bail, fucking just police cases. When one case is over because I'm not guilty all the way, fucking they're trying to pin me for other shit. So hopefully mid next year, man, I can get I've got some unfinished business, but I want to go to LA again. Like I've been to LA probably like 10 times, and but I'm gonna take my little one and my missus there, and we're gonna go. I want to check out Disneyland, like only for my son, Just how 4 or 5 year olds are, they want to see Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse and all that shit. So
yeah, 100%, man. So do you speak fluent Spanish?
Yeah, Spanish is my first language.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
Is that why you've been to LA so much?
I love LA because the shopping's so fucking good, eh?
Yeah.
Like, it's so cheap, eh? So if you like clothes, like clothes, getting tattoos, food, it's all cheap, man. It's so dope, man. Like, man, I love LA, eh? I love LA.
I guess it would help being, having Spanish. There's a massive Spanish community there, isn't there?
Yeah, a lot of Mexicans and Central Americans, so it helps, you go to like a taco stand, and you know what to say or what to ask for, and it's just mad vibes, man, mad vibes.
Yeah, I guess, I haven't traveled nowhere, obviously nowhere near as much as you, but traveling is, I would say, probably the best thing you can do with your money and your time. I mean, in terms of personal development and artistic development, creativity, and just like your worldview, it's the smartest decision anyone can make. And it sounds like you fully understand that.
Especially if you're a writer or into hip hop, like I also like to produce music. So every country I've been to, I'll always have to find a record shop or I want the local music, like maybe because I can find a sample or I can get ideas, and yeah, man. And of course, just the whole graffiti thing, especially like places like Europe, like Berlin, like that's the graffiti capital of the world, man. Like,
yeah, just, bro, 100%.
Wow. Berlin is wow.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, I went there maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and
you know it.
It's a beautiful spot, and it's just such a cool scene there, man. Everything, not just the graffiti, just the way of life is amazing.
Man, it's like Newtown times 500. It's like you can be yourself, mate. You want to walk around in a pink tutu? Fucking no one's gonna give you shit. Who cares, man? Just be yourself.
Crazy nightlife too.
Yourself. Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah, man, it's sick. So when did the music come into the scene? Was that sort of running parallel with your love for graffiti or your introduction to graffiti? Were you into rap from then, or did that come later?
That started in 97. I was doing, I was writing little shits, and I would record on tape as well. I'd use one of my dad's Tandy mics, and I would try like spit over like a instrumental by Ice-T, for example, or Public Enemy. And then of course I went through juvenile systems. I know all that shit going through Cobham and Penang and Kariong, Minda.
True.
So like, I'd always bust freestyles, and like I met a lot of writers. Like a lot of writers that I know to this day, that they still go in and out of jail, but we were cellies, we would bunk next to each other and stuff. So they still remember me, busting like shitty little freestyles back then and whatnot. So
back then, I guess, in those places when what was the response from your mateys that were around? Did they kind of look at you like, what the fuck you doing? Or
nah, they were like, fuck, that's sick, like they wouldn't be, oh no, you're a wannabe, this and that. No, I never got really any of that, man. Like, the only negativity I get is just from trolls on the internet. I don't give a shit, man. You know what I mean? Whatever. You can say what the fuck you want. I don't give a fuck. But back then, man, like, never got any negativity. I would get some sort of support, like, especially when I was in the unit with all the Aboriginals. I was like the only wog there. Like, it was only me and a Lebo dude. And man, they were loving it. Like, I'd bust a freestyle, one would start singing, and one would be beatboxing. I was like, wow, man, like, 17-year-old locked up and stuff, but yeah, man, it's all just part of life, eh?
Yeah, for sure, man. 100%. So how long after that did you talk to me about sort of the transition from just writing raps and freestyling and just sort of exploring that, and then up to slow smoking? Was that sort of soon after, or did you spend years and years sort of writing and rapping and things like that? When did you decide to put tracks into a project?
Well, back in like 99, it was really hard to hook up with people that had a studio. Like in the hip hop scene, it was a small scene. It was a tight scene. Like now all the boys, I'm working with them, but the boys from that era, they had their little crew. I didn't know them. So what I had to do, I had a shitty PC that my mum bought, because that's when internet started to become more popular around 98, 99. And I would just download beats, or I'll make beats over some shitty little program I had. I think Fruity Loops number one. Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah. So I got 2 demos out, like till this day, I can't hear it. It's cringeworthy, man. Like, but I got 2 demos. I would burn CDs. I would slang it out there. So like, there's some people that might even remember. I used to also go in like 99. There was a radio station called 2SCR in the UTS building, the UTS uni there in the city.
Yeah, they're
And
still there, man, for sure.
Yes. And floor 26 on a Tuesday afternoon, either Miguel D'Souza or Mark Pollard, they were like advocates for hip hop. They'll be running the hip hop show there. You can go there, like artists could go there and bust a freestyle or introduce themselves. So I would go on the regular, Yeah, so I would meet people there like Bliss and Essa before they were even big, like we would bust freestyles together there, and the same with Thorn, Thorn was pretty much already big because of Mass MC and the barbecue song, that was pretty popular back then. Yeah, so I guess slow smoking, man, because I moved to Spain and I also hooked up with a lot of hip hop people there, and I was painting and shit as well. So that's when I thought, man, and that's when I hooked up with a studio there, and I thought, man, this is the time, man. I get to at least use proper equipment. Now I'm gonna fucking try push it, man, do something nice. So yeah. Man.
So when did you get back from Spain back into Sydney? Was that around the year 2000?
No, I left right after the Paralympics. So I was here for the Olympics, for the 2 weeks of the Olympics. I was out every night, fucking partying, girls,
crazy time, man.
Drugs. Yeah, man.
Yeah. I mean, I was 10 years old when the Olympics were on, but
man, I was running amok. I was like 20. I was 20 years old or something, man.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Sydney was, I mean, that was sort of Sydney's time to shine. And a lot of people my age, probably a lot of people your age, look back on those years, early 2000s, especially those that are involved in hip hop and graffiti with, as very fond years and sort of really explosive years in terms of hip hop and graph and everything that was happening around the city in that time.
Yeah, man. Well, it was a good era. It was a good era. It just went flying real quick, eh? But
so when did you get back?
I got back late 2004. I think late October 2004.
So did you record Slow Smoking in Spain?
Yes, I recorded that in Spain, and I got some CDs pressed there, and I had it distributed there. And of course, when I came here, I got CDs pressed here and I distributed here. So all up, I sold probably 2,000 copies of just that mixtape, So yeah, man.
In between Slow Smoking and Pockets Full of Dirt,
yes,
you were just continuing on the same, and you decided to release another project. Was there anything that sort of sparked that next project, Pockets Full of Dirt? Was that recorded in Sydney?
Man, that was recorded at in Glebe Studios, on Glebe Point Road. They're in Glebe.
Yeah, wow, okay.
And it was a good time because like Forte came with me, and I've known Forte since like 99. And well, like when the first time he recorded was with me and Losty, because Losty had a mate up in the mountains. An artist a producer who's called Caustic Yoda.
Oh yeah, I remember Caustic Yoda for sure.
Yeah. He's doing all the pretty much the mixing and mastering for my current release that I'm going to be getting in a couple months. And so it's like we were all reunited and shit. So but yeah, no, at Glebe Studios for Pockets Full of Dirt, I would record one song, and then Forte would record another song for his 2148 mixtape. So we got back and forth, we'd be smoking blunts in between, a couple long necks. So like, yeah, man, it was good times, man. So
fucking oath, man. I mean, I guess those years, 2006 for me was when I really started noticing sort of hip hop and graffiti in Sydney, and that's when I was 16 and I was just getting into it. So those years to me always are just sort of I don't know how it seemed like it was just vibrant, sort of exploding. There was a lot of, and it was still underground, you know what I mean? There wasn't many people that were like on an international stage or anything. It was
only the hoods, man, Hilltop hoods, and
then that's it. Yeah. And a few other guys.
Yep.
Listen, Esso was sort of 1200 techniques, and there was some older guys from back in the day. But in terms of like those areas, there was just a lot of MCs on freestyling at parties and recording tracks. Man, it was a
you know it. Yep.
It was a sick time, and I guess it's crazy that you've been. I mean, you were basically there from day dot, man. Like you've
pretty
been
much, man.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, bro. It's I guess it's good to look back on those years and to see that you still got the same passion as you did back then.
Fucking off, 100%, man, 100%. I've always had it in me, man. Like painting, recording, music, whatever, man. I'm hip hop for life, man. I'm a b-boy, bro.
And if you look at look at the guys around you, like Forte's doing big things nowadays,
Yeah,
and
he's
he went
killing
on
it.
to become the person that he is, and
Yeah, he's killing it.
yeah, fucking oath, man. So obviously 2 years later, you released your next album, Tales from the Westline.
Tales from the Westline, yes.
Was that recorded at Glebe Studios as well?
No, I fucking racked half the equipment.
Yeah.
Fucking went to a music store, fucking here's a $500 mic down my DAX, fucking here's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
fucking sound card, I'm fucking doing the bolt, you know. I recorded that
nice.
shit at home, majority
Oh,
of it. Yeah. So I had a laptop that I bought, well, kinda like I bought that was stolen. Yeah, man, fucking I pretty much recorded everything on just fucking stolen equipment and fucking happy days. But I got it all mixed at a proper studio. So I would record all my vocals at home. I would clean it all up. I would put effects, this, that, and then I would just take it to the studio and pay the guy whatever an hour to mix it. And yeah, man.
Do you have any training in like audio sort of shit, or did you just self-teach yourself everything?
Self-taught, all self-taught.
Yeah, word, man. No, nice job.
Because the courses then they were like $2,000, $3,000. Like fucking, I'm not gonna spend that type of money. Like fuck.
Yeah, and if if you don't need to be that clued on, and you can figure out a lot of shit.
It's all trial and error, pretty much, man.
Yeah, 100%, man. Fucking oath. Around those times, like you were pumping a lot of gigs, involved with a lot of gigs, and I guess Nurture Records was around that time, and they had a lot of shit going on.
Shrek the sync up, man. Like, Shrek, Shrekker. He was the one doing all the Nurture. No, he was a top dude, and even like GPS from Purebred, he was doing a lot of the shows as well, man. Like, man, I seen like GPS not long ago. I still got love for him. He's a top dude still, man. So yeah.
Bro. How many was it? Sort of an every weekend thing around those times when you released those two albums?
Man, almost. I try to pump as many shows as we can. Like even it was just like for youth centers and shit. Probably did like Forte and myself together. We probably did almost 100 shows. Like,
really?
Yeah. Wow. Sometimes we would perform in front of like 500 people, or sometimes we perform in front of 5 people. But it was just fun, man. It was fun. That hunger was there. Man, it was just fun.
Yeah, fucking oath, man. Do you think you'll be looking to do live shows with your new album?
Man, it would be cool. Times have changed now, so I'd like to see some of the older boys, crews like Death Wish Cast, or even like Benji from PK Crew, or my mate Spocky and all that. So like, if we can organize a mad gig of just the old school boys, like the true hip hop shit, because the music nowadays is a bit different. So if we can bring back that hip hop, then we can probably bring it back, because yeah. So of course I'm down for a show, man. I'm down for it. I got that hunger in me, So yeah, bro.
That'd be fucking sick. All those guys you just mentioned, a show with them would be good. And I guess you're right, man. Like there is a lot of cool shit happening at the moment in terms of hip hop coming out of Sydney too, and people are just absolutely blowing up and doing amazing shit. It's the evolution of the music is incredible. I guess as you get older, you look back and you think, oh, I wish things were one, how they were and whatnot, which isn't always the best way to think about things. But
of course not.
I think there is a massive place for sort of underground MCs and boom bap shit that's sort of
there's a lot of genres
on the international
now.
Stage. And
yes.
Yeah, there is a lot of genres and they're fucking great. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, your music, I'm looking forward to your new album, which we'll talk about in a minute. But, much respect for sort of, from what I've heard, sort of keeping true to, I guess an era that's gone by, but it's good to hear, man. It's really good to hear.
Yes.
Tell me about your new album, man. Tell me what it's called, when you're looking to release it. And also I want to hear, I've got a few notes in front of me that with some names that are pretty crazy, man. So who have you been collaborating with and when's it coming out?
All right. The master's almost there, just waiting on one more song to be properly mixed because, I need this to be perfect because I want this to be my best. And I'm going to send it to get pressed on vinyl because I've only done CD and I can't live with myself if I don't get fucking something out on 12-inch. So it could take up to 2 to 3 months. So let's say, March, April.
Word.
The latest, I'm hoping. I mean, getting shit pressed on CDs, that's that's a 3-4 day turnaround, and digital, well, that's another 1 week turnaround, whatever, you know. But I want to get it all out at the same time, so I got to have this physical copy of a vinyl.
Is that hard to do? Is that hard to? I mean, do you just call a company and get something pressed, or is it more complicated than that?
Of course, you need the art specs for printing. You need that to be on point. You need to get the song mastered totally different, because it's for an analog. Vinyl is analog, so you need to get it mastered. It has to be at the right levels. Like, you can't have it at the levels of a CD on a vinyl, because it'd just be maybe just distorting, or just be stupid. So a little bit more work, but Caustic Yada, he's done a lot of vinyl mastering, so he's the man. He knows that shit, man. It's different. I think every song on this LP is somewhat different in its own way, different flow, different lyrics. It's just like my graffiti, you know, like I might do a 5-minute panel and it will be different compared to a 20-minute panel, or a 2-hour wall will be different to a 5-hour wall. You know what I mean? So like that's how I try to do my music as well, man.
Tell me who's on the album. I've seen you've got a track with Cannabis. You've got a track with Tragedy Gaddafi, which is fucking, you know,
he's a man.
He's one of those dudes that, like, if you talk to someone about music and they mention his name, you're like, oh shit, all right, now we're on the same level.
Queensbridge, you know what I mean? OG, fucking Tragedy is the man.
How did you get in touch with him, man? Did you just hit him up online, or?
I went through a producer that you know, he had some sort of promo thing happening. So the same thing happened with Young Buck and with Cannabis. So like, you know, I had to work out rights, had to do all this paperwork, all that shit, you know, because here in Australia, fuck, we shake hands and go by our word, but there in America, you know, it's all paperwork and stuff like that. So I had to fit out like 7 pages of paperwork. I'm looking at it like, fuck, what am I signing? Yeah, you know, but yeah. So this producer hooked up the beat, the acapella, and it was all up to me, man, to come up with something that's a burner, eh? So had to get into that mode, eh? So
so did you produce the beats for Veinz Of Paint?
I've only produced 3 tracks. It's gonna have 9 tracks on it. I've only produced 3 songs out of it. Yeah,
word, man, sick. And who's working on the other ones?
I've got Randy, who Brooklyn, like a Brooklyn native, New York, but he's been living in Australia for a while. He's done a lot of promotions, you know, for Death Wish Cast and DJ Eclipse and all that from the Executioners. So he works with Mr. E. So like he's been involved in the hip hop scene. He knows the hip hop scene very well.
Yeah, true.
And yeah, he's one of the producers. Bocky as well, Bocky 101.
Oh, for sure. Shout out to Bocky, man. Yeah, I didn't know
word
that.
up, man. Fucking did a burner, fucking like a sick beat. You know, he's on it with Hawk too. You know, so they're my boys. You know, like they're really good people, humble people. You know, and yeah. So I've always got time for them, and we're doing more shit together. So it's in the works. I got beats from Legion Beats. You know, some dudes from out LA. I'm in San Francisco. And Anna Domini that works with them as well. But yeah, man. And I've also got collabs by a Nigerian female MC, really, really talented. Her name's Laziella. She's on a song of mine as well. I got a Jamaican chick. Her name's Chevelle Irie. She does like the intro with me. So it's an intro, you know. I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, it's one of those sick cunt intros, man. So yeah.
How long have you been working on that project, man? Was it sort of something that you started a while ago and you're just getting around to finishing now, or did something sort of motivate you to smash it out quickly?
A bit of both, eh? I've smashed out a lot, most of it quickly, but a lot of it has been also built up over the years, you know, like even in my quiet years where I would maybe just do a collab or 2 here and there, you know, I'd still be producing beats. I'd still be busting freestyles. I'd still be like writing shit, you know. It's just, I wasn't really happy. I wasn't really motivated. But I think now it's just, I don't know. I just felt like, man, I think I've got it in me, you know. And before I drop Veinz Of Paint, the LP, I'm gonna drop a promotional single, and that's the one with Cannabis. And I think this is gonna be my best shit. This is one of my best shit here. Like I, as you know, with a Pockets Full of Dirt Tales from the Westline, I had a lot of criminal influence shit, you know. Like I've moved on from that. Like, yeah, I lived that lifestyle once upon a time, and I might mention little things here and there, but I think I've evolved out of that. I've moved more into the lyric side of things, but I could tell a story, like a lot of influences from like Immortal Technique, for example, So like I think I've evolved, and I think my shit right now is better than back then, man.
Fucking, you're G'ing me up, brother. Fucking hell.
Yeah, bro. I G
You're
myself
making
up,
me want
man.
to go write some shit, man. This is fucking
Bro,
sick.
I'm in the truck. I'm pumping my fucking music shit stereo loud, because I feel this is my best shit, So yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man. That's fucking exciting, man. It's
But it'll be in January. I'm gonna be dropping this exclusive promo single with Cannabis in January. So yeah, he just did a shout out video for me. He just sent it this morning. I woke up this morning 4 a.m. to go to work, and it's got a shout out video. My homie Tuloco in crime, this that. So I was like, yeah, wow, sick cunt, bro.
yeah,
So
fucking oath, man. Yeah, and I mean, have you started thinking about? It might be a silly question, but have you started thinking about after this project? I mean, is this something that you're gonna continue to sort of go down that road? Can we expect some more from you?
I would like to. I would really, really like to. Yeah, I got plans on doing music with a good mate of mine. We've done a lot of painting together. OT, who's been doing some dope music lately.
For sure, bro. Shout out to OT. Yeah.
Word up, and also another Westie boy, Dre Cleash, who he's had like a few like big like street hits, over the years and shit, So yeah, man, let's see where it goes. Hey, like I've got all these beats ready. I'd like to do a track with Benji as well, because man, that dude's fresh, man. That dude's fresh. So like,
unadulterated fucking raw shit, man. Benji's
that's
the
it,
man.
He's just being himself, and that's what I like, man.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's what it's all about, eh? Just sort of you don't want to hear the same thing over and over, and everyone should just be themselves and put their sort of hat in the ring. And I think that's exactly what you're doing, bro. I think that's what you've done for many years now, man, with your graffiti and with your music, bro. And it's much respect for you. Fuck, man, I hope once your new music's out, man, and as you were saying before, if you could get a show with Bocky and all those lads and the guy, I mean, that would be fucking
just got to organize it, man. Just got to organize it. I want Death Wish Cuss to headline, because to me, they're their kings, man. They're their kings, fucking 100%. Hands down,
Yeah, respect.
They just bring that electrifying fucking.
I love it, fucking oath, man. So, hey, if any of those people are listening to this, or if they're going to listen to this, put on a show, get Tuloco on the show, man.
We'll get it happening. We'll just got to speak to promoters, got to fight in the venue, and hopefully no stabbings like back in the day, man, because there was a lot of fights and stabbings. No shit, But I think because I brought a lot of riders, yeah.
I guess the sad part is, I've heard stories about those gigs being stopped, which is sort of the sad part of that story.
Yeah. I mean, Lewisham
Hotel and Lansdowne.
Oh, fuck. Lewisham and the Wild West, there was like Riot Squad there, and people getting bottled. I'm up on stage and I see like blood coming out of someone's head. I'm like, holy fuck, but I'm just keep on going, man. Like, fuck, wow.
It's wild, man. Sydney's got a reputation, and it definitely it upholds that reputation. It certainly did back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, it would be good if Sydney would be like Melbourne. Melbourne, they just chill. Melbourne, Adelaide, they just love their music. They all have fun, like they go out of their way to not have a fight, I think Sydney, just everyone wants to fight, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely it's weird, isn't it? It's like there's something about Sydney that is pretty hardcore, especially in these sort of subcultures, man. But yep. It is what it is. That's life for a lot of people in Sydney. Have you spent much time in Melbourne?
I've done a few trips here and there to Melbourne. I wouldn't live there, but I've done a few trips, painting trips. Of course, distributing my music back in the day. So I've got contacts there. I know my way around. So
yeah, good city, man.
It's cool, man. It's the capital of like music and graffiti of Australia, man.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think Sydney could take a page out of Melbourne's book in terms of
take creativity. A page out of Melbourne and Adelaide.
Yeah, bro, fucking. And while we're at it, out of Brisbane too. I mean, some of the graph coming out of Brisbane over the years, man, is.
Oh no, yeah, they're style masters there, man. They're style masters.
Yeah. Now listen, I did want to ask you, and we can cut this out, man. But I saw you did a track with and I'll let you go soon, man. But I saw you did a track, and I'm not sure if you were friends in the past, or if you just did a track with Skeppers. Obviously, who was a MC out of Sydney who sadly passed away, whenever it was, a couple of years ago, I think now. Time moves fast. But were you friends with him?
Man, since I came back from Spain, I I've known Skepper since like late 2004. Like probably met him December 2004 through a couple of graph mates of his, because I attended a graffiti workshop with Losty. He was running, and a couple of younger guys like Cage and Fuse and that were there, and they were good mates with because I gave them my mixtape, you know, like, oh, we got a good mate, this and that, and it was Quit's crew. So Quit's crew was like Skeppers, Deceiver, you know, Too Far, Chaos, you know, and man, when I heard their music, I go, man, these guys are sick, you know. And I hooked them up on my label, you know. I pushed them to do more music, you know. We did heaps of shit together. So Skippers was pretty much like a brother, man. Like, man, we would talk so much, you know, and we would record shit. He would, even like the years when I was painting more and I was just doing collabs here and there, most of the collabs was through him. And he was always pushing me. You got to do some more shit. I go, yeah, bro, but I got to get up, man. I got to go paint this train, this and that, you know. But, yeah, man, fucking, he was like a brother to me. That's why, yeah, man, yeah, not a week goes by where I don't think of him, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. I didn't know him, you know, on a deep level or anything. I didn't know him really like a good friend, but I met him. I think we even did a few gigs
Nice.
many years ago with him or on his shows. But every time I ask someone about him, they always say that he was really enthusiastic, passionate, and just a really good guy. And the amount of people that he actually knew, you know, just speaks to the type of character that he had, man.
100%, man. 100%.
I guess that's why I wanted to ask you. So I wasn't sure if you guys were friends or whatever, but yeah, you know, much respect to him and rest in peace. Well, listen, man, I'll let you go. It was an honor, man, to talk to you. You're an underground king in Sydney, bro. And as I said, I've been listening to music since 2006, basically, when I started getting into graph and shit. So.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, hey. No, that's good, man. Like, yeah, it's just I do this for myself, you know. And if people dig it, man, I love it, man. I love it, you know. It's just I'm just different, you know. I don't copy anyone. No copycat styling, you know. It's just I'm just being me, And
you're definitely unique, brother. You're a unique person. And, you know, that's what we need. We need more people in the Sydney hip hop and graffiti scene, well, just in culture in general. Everyone should just be themselves, and you're definitely doing your bit, man. So much respect.
Sweet word, man. Sweet word, man. Sweet word, man. Sweet word, man. Sweet word, man.
Thank you for listening to the Lead Poison Podcast.
Talking to me? Oh yeah? Huh? Okay.